everybody, it's Beth at Parris House Woolworks and North Atlantic Fiber Arts. And I thought for the new year I would start to do a series of videos now and again from the work studio, just to give you updates and talk to you a little bit about where I am, what I'm working on, and maybe, put in some tips and product recommendations and things like that. I don't know how often I'll do this. I'll do it as I have time, but I do know that these videos will only be available on Instagram. As some of you already know, around the middle of this year, I'm going to be taking my business off of Facebook. There are a lot of reasons why I do not like having the business on Facebook. I know that Instagram is also owned by Meta, and maybe Instagram is a stopgap measure. But right now, I like the way people interact better on Instagram. I find it to be more creative, more visual, less trolly. I don't like to see people, pardon my language, crapping all over each other in comment threads. So Instagram is going to be my preferred medium for social media. And also remember that we do have the Parris House Creative Community on Mighty Networks. That is a paid community. It's $9.99 a month, but I think it's well worth it. I offer workshops, gatherings, classes, and lots of multi-topic discussion on that forum. And if you're interested in that or knowing more about that, just give me a shout, either through the DMs or at one of my email addresses. So anyway, I guess as some of you may already know, I'm kind of recalibrating the way the business model works with Parris House Woolworks. I have for 10 years been running an e-commerce site, first on Etsy and then in tandem, Etsy and Shopify, and now just on Shopify for our e-commerce, part of Parris House Woolworks, which is selling supplies, patterns, kits, everything you would need for rug hooking and quite a few other fiber arts. But, for the 10 years before I did Parris House Woolworks, I was selling real estate. I was a real estate broker. And while I loved many aspects of that, it was still sales. And so I jumped from the frying pan into the fire, I guess, and set up an e-commerce site, which is also very sales oriented. And now that I'm getting a little bit older, I'm going to be 58 this year, I really want to dive a little bit harder into making one-of-a-kind art pieces, teaching. I love teaching. There will always be more classes that I'm offering, and writing. I'm working on a second book, which is strictly about rug hooking, also for Down East Books, just like my first book was. And these are the things that I'm really passionate about and that I really want to work on going forward. So the middle of this month, the e-commerce site is going to be kind of niched down. We're going to have seasonal offerings. We are still going to offer patterns and kits, but we're just not going to have 200 line items in that e-commerce shop anymore. It's going to be simplified, and it will also give me space to introduce new patterns, limited edition patterns, things that you'll only be able to buy during a specific season, and just a more boutique style, rather than trying to compete with the big boys and girls in this niche. It's just not something that I want to pursue at this juncture. I really want to take a more creative track. What I underestimated when I started to lean in this direction was how long it would take logistically, financially, and psychologically. That's a big part for a small business owner to make that transition. And I think now, I feel like I've put a lot of things to bed and I'm ready to kind of make that transition. So you will still be able to shop with us at ParrisHouseWoolworks.com. That's Parris with 2 R's. But it's just going to be a slightly different experience, a more limited experience. And when I say limited, I mean limited in numbers of line items, but not limited in quality or creativity. I think, in fact, this scale down is going to allow us to do more creative things and offer more artisanal, super high quality things to you. So that's where I'm going with that. So I'm spending all day today. The holidays are over, even though I have not been able to bear to take down all of my Christmas decorations. This is my, let me see if I can get this right. This is my unicorns and rainbow Christmas tree that I put up in the work studio just because it makes me happy. So I haven't been able to bear to take them all down yet, but you know, my holiday festivities are mostly over. Unfortunately, the last of my family visits are over for a little while, and now I'm kind of ready to throw myself into things. So I'm gonna turn the camera around and show you some of the things that I'm going to be working on, and I also want to show you real quick 2 things that my husband got me for Christmas that I think are brilliant. So that's it. I'm gonna turn the camera around. So my rug sign is ready. This thing has been sitting and sitting and sitting while I have not been working on it. So this is a landscape piece, and there are really 2 different tracks that I want to go on with my creativity this year. I want to do a lot of landscapes because I just love the landscape in my natural environment. I'm going to walk you over to the big window here in the work studio, and you're going to see that today I have icy precipitation landscape. But there are so many different beautiful landscapes here in Maine, and this is from a photograph I took one winter, and as a lot of you know, I've been working on this forever. So that's going to be one of the first things that I go back to. And then I'm also going to do some small landscapes. I'm going to put those on the Cheticamp frame, and when they're done, I'm going to wrap them around these little small canvases. I'm just going to do some seasonal landscapes. And then the other thing that I want to focus on in my work is the role of trauma and, to some extent, neurodiversity in my own life and in, our society in general. So this is a piece that I'm going to be doing very soon. It's called Don't Play Small. And this is a woman just giving us a stern reminder that when we play small, we deprive ourselves and we also deprive everyone else of what we can accomplish and what we can offer in this world. And then I'm also going to be finishing this piece, which is called Bring It Up Alive. Again, a lot of you know I've been working on this piece since 2019, but now is the time to really start working on these, especially since I now have a show that I'm working to. So we'll talk about that in another video. But real quick, while I just still have a minute and a half left, my husband found in an antique bookstore this wool stitchery vintage book. And I just love it. And he was like, I know it's old. And I was like, well, here's the thing. Sometimes it doesn't matter because a lot of times the stitches don't change. So this is a really cool thing with these beautiful illustrations. And then the other thing he got me from a company called, this is not a paid endorsement, by the way, Woman's Work. It's a beautiful thing that goes over a 5-gallon round bucket like you would get at a Home Depot or something. And it's for keeping all your gardening tools in. And I just love it. I can't wait to use it this spring. Anyway, I only have 30 seconds left because Instagram will only take 10 minutes and I talk too long. So anyway, this is the first of my videos, and I hope you'll join me again for some more in the future. And you can DM me with any questions or any comments, and you can put in the comment thread. Thank you, and I will see you again soon.